Hi, welcome back to the shop. I know that I've been gone for a while from YouTube, something to the tune of maybe even a couple of months. Yeah, I could just say that, attribute that to life getting in the way. Yeah. So, but I'm back now, and I'm hopefully I'll be back and on a more regular basis. Now, you may remember me having said that before, and I'm sure I have. And I didn't meet that goal that time, but we all need goals to strive for, and I continue to strive for that goal. So we'll just move forward with that being said. Anyhow, since I've been gone, I finished up all of my commissions for Christmas. There were quite a few bunk beds for American Girl dolls, a couple of little boxes and things like that. If you happen to follow me on Instagram, you may have seen some of those things because I do post pictures there on a fairly regular basis when I don't have time to film, which I haven't in a while. So anyway, I finished those things, and you may remember that I mentioned back in October, I think it was, that I was involved with the Orlando Makers Fair. And at the Makers Fair, I was invited to become a member, invited to come down to the local makerspace, Family Lab in Longwood, Florida. And once I went down there and checked it out, it was pretty cool. They had a lot of very nice areas down in the makerspace. They had, you know, a nice production lab with CNCs and 3D printers and laser cutters and all manner of cool things like that. They have a biology lab, a dark room, a metal shop, a welding shop, and an electronic shop with soldering stations, and all those areas are quite nice. They also have a woodworking area. Now, it leaves a little to be desired at this point, but I've since become a member, and I am now the POC for woodworking, and I'm taking the steps necessary to make the woodworking area a useful addition to the makerspace and a valuable resource to the members who are aspiring woodworkers. And on that note, starting this month, February, I will begin teaching classes at the makerspace. So if you're here local in the Central Florida area, be on the lookout for that information. I'll be definitely posting that here on Facebook as well as Eventbrite. So, and I'm pretty excited about that. And I kind of feel like the folks over at the makerspace might be a little excited about it too, so really looking forward to that. Now, another thing that I've gotten myself involved with since the last time is I started working with a company that does creative events, and for about 2 weeks or so, a couple weeks ago, I was working on a project with them, and I was building a pirate ship prop. It was a very large pirate ship prop, to the tune of 16 feet long, 8 feet wide, and 7 feet tall, I believe it was. And it was pretty successful. So far, I haven't had a whole lot of pictures of it because that week I worked about almost 50 hours on the ship in addition to my regular 40-hour job. So I worked a lot that week, and most days when I got done working, it was 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So I didn't get a lot of pictures or video or anything like that, and I wasn't able to make the event. So there was some kind of snafu with the pictures. So long story short, I really don't have any pictures of it as of yet, but I was assured that there's video, so maybe I'll be able to share that at some point in the future. But it did come out very, very nice. I also built a couple of bars for the event from reclaimed lumber, and we did a copper inlay on the top of one and a Shoshigi technique, which involves burning wood pickets, like fence pickets, and we made a little design with that. Again, hopefully I'll be getting some pictures here shortly. But I do have some other projects that I'm going to be working on with them, and because the timeline shouldn't be as short as it was for the pirate ship project, I'm hopeful that I'll get some video and or pictures of the work that we'll be doing in future projects. Another thing I want to do is thank Bill Lavolsi over at One Car Workshop. I was going through my YouTube subscriptions, and I ran across Bill's Shop Pass video that he shot recently, or published recently. And I happened to notice that he was featuring my channel, of all things. So thanks, Bill. And if you guys want to check that out, I'm going to put a link in the description below for you to check that out. Bill's got a pretty cool channel over there. He's also one of the hosts of the Makers Hustle podcast, which is also very good. If you haven't tried that out, give it a listen. Yeah, I really like it. Him and Amy and Jeff, they make a pretty good team. It makes for very interesting subject matter. All right. Now, I also was fortunate enough to have a good friend of mine. You may know him as Bearcat Wood on Instagram and YouTube, Brian Knowles, who has been, as of late, has been making very, very nice handmade custom dovetail saws and tenon saws and carcass saws and the like. And I was fortunate enough that to have Brian make a saw for me. Again, if you're on Instagram, you probably saw the picture that I posted. But I'm going to go ahead and share it here on the video. And this is a saw that Brian made for me. The handle is made out of English walnut, and it's got a medallion with his logo on it. And as you can see, you know, this is beautifully made. Brian really is an artist with these things, so I just wanted to take a second to say thanks, Brian. This saw is beautiful, and I can't wait to put it to use. One of the other things that I mentioned in previous videos was that I was going to work on shop organization. Now, that's an ongoing struggle or challenge for all of us that have, particularly those of us that have home workshops. Now, I am fortunate enough to have a slightly larger than normal shop, as most of us have 2-car garage shops. I actually have a 3rd-car bay here, and my wife was generous enough to let me have all 3 of them. And so, but even with that being said, I find myself constantly changing things around, trying to find the best workflow, the most efficient way to work. So, but here in this shop, I really haven't taken the time until recently to put in place systems that work for this space. I brought over containers and shelving and cabinets from other spaces and kind of shoehorned them in here. And I've been making some real efforts to build custom areas here built for this space and the workflow that I employ in this space. So I'm really anxious to share that in coming videos. I built a outfeed table, and I got a new lathe, so the turning area changed quite a bit. There's plans for a new workbench. There's quite a few things happening in the shop. So moving forward, I'm going to be making a serious effort to document the majority of these things. And although it's already 2017, I will be doing a 2016 shop tour. Yes, I know that it's late, but that's okay. Let's see. I'm looking at a list because I'm very forgetful. So I think I pretty much went over everything. I have listed here schedule attempts. So again, I'm going to attempt to try to do these shop updates and project videos on a more regular basis. I'm not sure what day is going to really work out for me, so I'm just going to play that by ear. And again, I know that I've said this before and not been able to keep up with it, but that's okay, because like I said, we all need goals, and I certainly need goals, and I'll just keep working at it until I get there. And I feel like 2017 is going to be a pivotal year for me and Dread Knot Woodshop, and you should expect to see some pretty cool changes, some pretty awesome enhancements to what I'm doing here. So I'm going to be trying out some new trying out some new techniques and some new projects that I've never tried before this year, and I'm excited to bring you guys along. So with that being said, I know the shop update's pretty long, but it has been 2 months, so sorry about that. And thank you for coming out and hanging out with me for a few minutes and getting caught up on what's been missing. And I look forward to seeing you in the near future. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you can keep up with the exciting changes that are coming in 2017 with Dread Knot Woodshop. Have a good night. Peace.